May I see your license, please?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No problem. Hang on just 1 second. Will this work for you? I can't seem to find my license, but...
You have a good day, sir.
Young people, freedom is not free. Someone always has to pay the price. The price is high, but Americans have always been willing to pay it when necessary. My advice to you is to keep yourself prepared, because it may be your turn the next time freedom is threatened.
Are you going to arrest me if I don't leave? Are you going to arrest me if I don't leave?
Yes.
You might want to put the cuffs on me right now. Put the cuffs on me right now. I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
So arrest me then.
So just
right
to be
now.
clear,
what
no
crime?
What crime? What
business
crime?
here.
What? I am protesting. I am in your lobby protesting.
Every time we deal with your husband, that is a targeted attempt, in our estimation, for him to complain about our officers. Every time we have an interaction with him, what follows is another complaint. We have adjudicated complaint after complaint after complaint. We are not going to continue to entertain this behavior. One person who is trying to interact with the police to make complaints, we're not going to. Or you're going to be arrested for trespass. You are no longer welcome in this
Stop
lobby.
moaning. Stop moaning. I want to know what live.
Stand up.
I want to know what live.
Stand up.
I am
Stand up
passively.
and
I'm
turn around.
passively aggressing. Passively.
Stand up and turn around. You are
Patty,
under arrest
he's
for
twisting my
trespass.
wrist.
On December 5th, 2024, Gonzo Audit went to the Cheektowaga Police Department in Cheektowaga, New York, to file a complaint against a police officer. And this department is very complaint-worthy, recently making headlines, forced to fire one of their heroes.
New details tonight what caused the Cheektowaga cop to be kicked off the force. Officer Dominic Schwartz was one of the officers involved with chasing down a gunman after a shooting just a few months ago. Cheektowaga police say he was fired this week after an internal investigation.
Cheektowaga police won't say exactly why Dominic Schwartz was fired. They just say it was a personnel issue. But Schwartz was just honored just a few months ago for helping to catch a gunman. But that attention may have been what led him to being fired.
It wasn't too long ago Officer Dominic Schwartz was being praised for his actions. The 15-year veteran with Cheektowaga Police Department was recognized for this, chasing down a gunman after a shooting at a Cheektowaga Dollar General back in November.
His face got on television. That's when my client could put a real name to a face.
Matthew Albert is the lawyer for a woman named Jessica Hubert, who he says became involved with Officer Schwartz. He says Hubert answered a Craigslist ad allegedly from Schwartz.
Something about ladies looking for a man with a real uniform.
Now Schwartz is turning in his badge after an internal investigation. Cheektowaga police wouldn't comment, saying it's a personnel issue. But Albert says Schwartz went to Hubert's home several times, showing up in his squad car and uniform.
Air of authority that he imposed upon her to essentially obtain what it was that he wanted, I guess, which was relations while he was on duty.
One thing's been very clear over time. Police always love to be recognized as heroes. But this time, being a hero cost this cop. In a department marred by scandal, this Cheektowaga cop used his position of authority to take advantage of somebody. And the only way he got caught was because of the hero's attention that all cops so desperately need. And that's not the only big scandal for this small department. They've just recently been sued by the family of a woman whose life they could have saved, and they're being sued for, again, not doing their job. And that brings us back around to Gonzo Audit. He went in to file a complaint at the police department against a police officer, but he was arrested, and his wife was told that they're not going to be taking any complaints, and then they trespassed him from the facility. Let's jump in and take a look at this corrupt department.
What's going on with me here? I'm not leaving. I'm not trespassing. I'm broken the law.
What I'm telling you is, if you disrupt the normal operations of our police station, you will be...
How so? How would I be disrupting? Let me know so I don't do it.
If our dispatchers can't sit here and conduct their work with you without you disrupting them,
Wait, hold
then
on.
officers will be arrested.
And here we go, instantly with the cops splaining. And the police are going to shift tactics several times in this video to try and effect their illegal arrest. This cop is going to claim that by sitting in the police department lobby quietly waiting for a complaint, that he's now obstructing the dispatcher's ability to do their job. Spoiler alert, your First Amendment protected activity to redress your grievances or to film or be engaged in free press can never be converted to a crime.
Sit there.
Okay.
I didn't disrupt them there. How did I disrupt them
You need to
there?
have a legitimate purpose for being here.
I am. I would like to see the captain or the chief.
They're not available. You will not see them.
I will sit here all day and I'll come back tomorrow and I'll come back every subsequent day until they see me. You're not understanding. I'm disabled. You have no authority over me. You're not going to tell me what to do. You don't intimidate me. You understand that?
I'm sorry that you feel that way.
So we can get the chief.
I want to be very clear.
Who are you?
I'm
Please
Captain
identify.
Schmidt.
Captain Schmidt. Let's get some.
Perfect.
Perfectly clear.
We are not going to continue in this pattern.
Now, to want assistance for filing a complaint against a police officer, that won't warrant a visit from the captain. But having the gall to actually file a complaint against one of these oath-breaking tyrants, well, that warrants an arrest from the captain. And the lieutenant says we're not going to continue in this pattern. What pattern is he referring to? Well, that's filing a complaint.
You are interrupting the flow of our operation. You are interrupting the flow of our operation. You are interrupting the flow of our operation.
You gotta love the cop logic. This cop wants to arrest this journalist for interrupting their operations. However, the journalist is there to complain about dirty and unlawful illegal cops. So I guess this is the only thing the cop actually got right. This journalist's complaint will disrupt their illegal operations. I just think it's funny that this cop actually admits it on video.
Let me know how I'm interrupting. I would like to know how I'm interrupting.
All of your complaints are
You said I
closed.
knocked on the window and I'm
Listen, because I need you to hear this. All of your complaints are closed. If you're dissatisfied with how they've been dealt with, you can follow up with the Attorney General's office. That is your remedy. If you're further dissatisfied with how you've been treated, you may follow a lawsuit, get yourself an attorney and do that. What we are not going to do is we're not going to have you sit in our front lobby. We have a
You
duty.
can't do anything about
We
it.
have a
You can't do
duty.
anything about it, Captain Schmidt.
We have a
You
duty
can't do anything
to keep
about
this
it, Captain.
lobby open for the other members of our town to come in and file reports.
So first, Gonzo can be arrested for disrupting the dispatcher's operations. Then the captain pivots to the fact that Gonzo can be arrested for disrupting the police officer's operations. And now they're going to pivot again to say that this journalist is disrupting other citizens. And he's saying it while they're standing in an empty lobby.
For victims of crime to come in, for people to come in.
Is this a public lobby? It is on the onus of you to create privacy. You don't want to talk to me, bro. I know more than you. I know more than you. I know more than you.
I just want you to understand what I'm saying.
Are you going to arrest me if I don't leave? Are you going to arrest me if I don't leave?
Yes. Yes.
You might want to put the cuffs on me right now. Put the cuffs on me right now. I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
So arrest me then.
So
Right
just
now.
to be clear,
For what
no
crime?
For what
legitimate
crime? What
police business
crime?
here.
What? I am protesting. I am in your lobby protesting.
So I want to be clear.
First Amendment
All
right.
No legitimate police
First Amendment
business.
right.
You're creating a disturbance.
Where?
I have a question.
There's other
Now finally, someone else enters the lobby, a citizen, a mailman. And the police are very excited that now they can manufacture a victim for their disturbance. But things don't go quite as planned for the police when this postal worker laughs at the cop because he won't be a part of their illegal scheme and says to the police about Gonzo that he's their mailman too.
Those are operations.
One person now. There's one person here. What disturbance?
He's the
He's
mailman.
He's the mailman.
Okay.
I'm their mailman too.
Yeah.
Right?
He's my
Thank
mailman.
you.
Yeah, you better. I'm telling you, McAdams, and I'm telling you, Schmidt. You're
So
going
there
down
was
the wrong
never,
road.
so there was
You let me
never
know
a
who-
complaint.
There was never a complaint against me for being disturbing.
There was never a complaint filed against
Then you might
Lawaticky
wanna
for
arrest
what
me.
he's
No,
asking.
Arrest me or get the hell out of my face. Arrest me or get the hell out of my face. Arrest me or get the hell out of my face.
How was a
Hands on. Right
complaint?
now you can stand up. You can walk up.
No, I'm not. So you can arrest
You
me.
refuse to leave, you are going to be arrested
For what? I
How
have,
was a
I have to break the law in public for you to arrest
You are
me.
no longer welcome in this area.
Why? I'm First
Because
Amendment.
you're creating a
Is it a
disturbance.
First Amendment
Your
right to?
cause is to interrupt the flow of our operations.
How? What did I? Okay.
Our front desk lobby is now closed because of your attitudes, because of your actions, because of
They've
your
never
behavior.
been out
The
here.
Yeah, I
dispatchers
asked
do not
what-
feel safe being at the front desk with you.
They're
That's not my
behind
problem. That's not my
glass.
problem. If you don't
It
feel
is.
safe, then you should be a cop.
Okay.
Are you buying bullets?
So this is.
Let me
this
ask
is-
you a
this is what it
question.
comes
Let me
down
ask
to.
you a question.
You can leave or you can be arrested for trespass. You are no longer welcome in this
Slap
lobby.
me on
That's
it.
it.
Slap me on it. I
How
want to
are
know
you-
what live.
Stand up.
I want to know what live.
Stand up.
I am
Stand up
passively.
and turn
I'm
around.
passively aggressive. Passively.
Stand up and turn around. You are
Patty,
under arrest
he's
for
twisting my
trespass.
wrist. He's twisting my
You
wrist.
are under arrest. Stand
Okay,
up.
I'm going dead weight. Please don't twist my wrist. You're not stronger than me, bud. You're not stronger than me. Let go of me.
Listen.
Like, you're not
Bubs,
stronger than me.
Bubs.
I don't want to hurt you. I don't want you to get hurt.
How can you say, how can you say a complaint was closed that was never filed?
Please stop putting your hands behind my back. Patty, see how rough they're being with me?
How can you say a complaint was closed that was never filed? We are here to file the complaint and you're saying it's already
Who
closed.
filed the complaint? Who filed the complaint?
Who filed the complaint about Slawatiki saying that we could touch
I'll be
him?
back in just a minute.
Now Gonzo is being led away to the booking area, but this illegal confrontation doesn't end yet. Captain Schmidt is going to return one more time to try and cop-splain to the victim's wife. And what he actually does is even worse than that. He admits on video over and over again that they're tired of receiving this citizen's complaints. And because he's complained against police, he's been arrested, he's being trespassed. And even more unbelievable, this cop thinks he's in the right. And this is a supervisor.
You're no longer accepting complaints from my husband.
So, and I would be very clear on this, so there is no confusion. Every time we have an
Wait,
interaction-
I need you to say we are no,
I'm
okay.
going to build to that
Okay.
point, so I'm going to say it very articulately,
Okay.
so there's no confusion. Every time we deal with your husband, that is a targeted attempt, in our estimation, for him to complain about our officers. Every time we have an interaction with him, what follows is another complaint. We have adjudicated complaint after complaint after complaint. We are not going to continue to entertain this behavior. We are not going to continue to use our manpower and our resources to focus on one person who is trying to interact with the police to make complaints. We're not going to.
You understand though, if your police were conducting themselves professionally, if they were not calling my husband an asshole, if they were not lying to both of us, we wouldn't be in this
So
situation.
there are other avenues for him, as I already explained earlier. He can go to the Attorney General's office if he believes we're not handling these complaints seriously, if we're not investigating them fully. He can file a lawsuit. Those are avenues to him that are legal avenues. Once we're at the point where I say you have no legal purpose in this building any longer and you are interfering with their operations and you need to leave,
Right.
at that point, he had to leave. He
But
refused
from
to
your
leave.
own admission, unfortunately, before I started recording, and that's why I'm doing this now, when you first came out here, you said that the complaint had already been filed and closed. Now, since I have articulated to you that that was not the reason we were here, not the original complaint, but it was in regards to Lieutenant Slawatiki saying that he could have hands put on him in one room, but not in the other, that made it some sort of difference. I understand that doesn't change what you're saying, but you understand why we were here for a different reason than what you originally thought. Because you came out saying the complaint was filed and closed.
Yeah, so,
But we hadn't
and
even
what we're
filed
not
it yet.
doing is we're not just going to continue to do, okay, that complaint's closed, I'm doing a new complaint. Well, I don't like the way they talk to me, it's a new complaint, it's a new
Well,
complaint. it's a
so
new
here's the issue
It's a
though,
drain on
when,
police resources.
I understand. When we came in here and talked to Lieutenant Slawatiki, that was on the 3rd. Okay? Sorry, that was on the 2nd. On the 3rd, and later in the afternoon on the 2nd, on the 3rd, in the morning, there was already a letter drawn up and waiting for my husband about the complaint being filed, him being verbally counseled, and a letter already typed and printed waiting for my husband in less than 18 hours. So, how does that happen? How did somebody, one, be able to file a complaint on themselves? Lieutenant Slawatiki filed a complaint on himself. Who verbally
That's not
counseled
unusual
him?
If our officer believes that
We were also trying to figure out who verbally counseled him.
That would have been his supervisor. So, Captain Joyce, now I can't confirm that 100% because I wasn't involved.
Exactly.
But it makes sense.
We were told that Captain Gerace was already off for the day. And so by the next morning...
And in that last clip, you can see the final pivot by police. Now they're saying that Gonzo had no legitimate business there because he wasn't filing a current complaint, when the videographer explained to the first police officer and the wife now explains to the captain that they were there to file a new complaint. But even if they weren't there to file a complaint at all, your First Amendment right to free speech, free press, and petition your government for redress of your grievances is lawful within itself and can't be converted into a crime. This means they can't just trespass him and arrest him because he's sitting there engaging in his First Amendment rights. Some other crime needs to be committed, and absent that crime, well, they did what they did, and that was violate the hell right out of his rights. Now, I called the Cheektowaga Police Department myself to try and get an explanation for this type of behavior. I was shuffled around for several minutes and hung up on twice. Ultimately, they had no comment, which is only because no one would answer the phone to speak with me past the dispatcher. So are you folks at home surprised that one cop's been fired for his inappropriate behavior, and that separately the entire town and police department are being sued in a separate incident for not doing their jobs? And the scariest part of the whole thing is that their very best police officer, the best example they have for heroism, is an officer himself that was fired for inappropriate behavior. Check out Gonzo Audits and tell him Accountability for All sent you. His channel link and original video link will be in the description of this video. And folks at home, how do you feel about the Cheektowaga Police Department in Cheektowaga, New York? What I see is a small department with some very big problems. And that's the reason I stopped you today.